Hi, everybody. I'm Darren Lynch, founder and CEO of Irish Titan. You're about to listen to some Ecomm Forum whiskey shot follow-ups. Enjoy. More to come. Hi, everybody. Darren Lynch, founder and CEO of Irish Titan. Here with our good friend Greg from Attentive. Greg, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hey Darren, great to be with you here today. My name is Greg Bauman. I'm the Senior Manager of Strategic Partnerships here with Attentive. And so for those of you that might be new to Attentive, we are an industry-leading mobile messaging platform that works with a lot of the top retail and e-commerce brands in terms of their SMS marketing strategies. So very excited to be here.
Cool. Well, thanks for joining us, Greg. This series of content we're producing is meant to be sort of a follow-up from Ecomm Forum, whiskey shot-sized pieces of content building on our Ecomm Forum history. We've done it 6 years. You've been involved in it the last 2 years. You were on a panel 2 years ago. Attentive participated this last year. So thanks for all the support in the event, and thanks for joining us today.
Absolutely. Happy to be here.
So Attentive is early to an early opportunity, right? The text-based marketing and e-commerce is an emerging area of the marketing side of acquisition, conversion, and retention, and Attentive is early to that. So tell us what you're seeing in that space and what's happening.
Yeah, for sure. No, I mean, I think, a lot of times when brands come to us, even very large brands, they're completely new to text, right? This is a very new channel for a lot of brands out there. And, I think, especially now in the pandemic, I think we're a very distracted people. We spend a lot of time, our attention might be diverted somewhere else very quickly. So, as a brand, it's really important to get in front of where people are spending most of their time. And the reality of that right now is we are spending a lot of time on our mobile device. So, really important for brands to get the type of messaging out that they're looking to get to their customers or potential customers. We see text as such an incredible channel for a lot of brands, especially in North America. And we did a study, and about 90% of consumers actually want to receive text messages from brands that they're interested in. So I think that really shows how we're starting to pivot towards being more open to that, whereas maybe historically we might have thought that it was a little bit more of an intrusive channel. And that's actually increased over the last year. 50% of consumers are actually more interested in text this year than they were the previous year. So I think we're moving much more to that mobile strategy, and that messaging app on your phone is also the most used app on your phone. So out of all the people that have a smartphone, 98% of those use their messaging app. And I don't know if you have an iPhone. I have an iPhone. You might get those Sunday weekly reports. Yep, every Sunday. And if you take a look at that, you'll notice that your iMessage is actually always going to be within the number 2 or number 7 most used app that week. So we're also spending a lot of time in our iMessage or our messaging app if we use Android. So it's just such a great place for real estate for brands to be able to get their message out and get them to come back to the site and buy products.
Yeah, and I think some of the numbers that you've spoken to are incredibly powerful, right? Like the amount of people who are willing to opt in, and then the open rate and the click-through rate, those are really strong performance metrics.
They really are. I mean, it's pretty incredible when I first heard about these metrics, and some of it makes sense though. We see a 99% open rate, which is incredible, right? That means everyone is looking at your message versus, email. You might get hit in a spam folder, and you're not looking at all those emails, but we look at all of our texts, and that does make a lot of sense. We try to keep that inbox clean. I know I get texts from my utility company. I'm still opening those messages and I'm seeing what's in them, right? So I think the more powerful number is what we're seeing from a click-through rate perspective. And we're seeing click-through rates exceed 30% on those messages. So not only are people seeing the message, but our clients are sending the right type of message, a relevant message, and it's encouraging them to actually take that call to action and get back to the site. So when you look at email where, it might be a 1 to 2% click-through rate is pretty successful, we're 15xing that. And that's why we're seeing text message marketing driving 10 times more revenue than email currently. So again, there's the immediacy factor of text. Most people that actually see their text, they engage with it within the first 3 to 5 minutes. So especially if you're trying to get something out to your customers quickly, we see text as that most engaging channel for a lot of brands out there.
Yeah, there's that marketing funnel that everyone talks about, the acquisition, conversion, retention. Some people talk about awareness and advocacy in there too, either 3 steps or 5 steps of the funnel. But I think that we've heard this term or the prediction that 2021 is going to be the year of loyalty bandied about, right? Every year is going to be the year of something. Sometimes that turns out to be true, sometimes not.
Right.
I think that the concept behind that is that 2020 was a year where people either launched an e-commerce channel if they somehow didn't have one, or they invested in the foundational practices there because they were forced to, or just saw the mad rush of people going toward e-commerce, the consumers. So I think the argument is that those merchants that are going to win in 2021 are the ones that are going to invest in loyalty to attract those customers and retain those customers, because brand loyalty actually decreased online in 2020. I think that the text-based marketing that Attentive is providing really fits nicely, whether it's a year of loyalty or not, but really fits nicely into that strategy. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think loyalty is going to be incredibly important in 2021. And, I think we heard about that with mobile for like 3 or 4 years, like from like 2016 to 2020, it was going to be the year of mobile, right? What I think we can all agree on is that we are definitely in a mobile era right now. We're going to see about 3/4 of all e-commerce sales coming from the mobile device in 2021. So when we talk about loyalty and we talk about how do you get people to come back and purchase that second product or become a brand advocate, you want to make sure you're leveraging channels where you can really engage with them. And again, that's why we think text is just so incredibly important. And especially when there's all these new D2C brands opening up, you've got a lot more competition in the marketplace. And you mentioned because of that, the brand loyalty is starting to go down. And text is such a new channel, and a lot of brands are still, trying to get into that. It's a huge opportunity for brands to get in early by starting your SMS campaign, getting those consumers to opt into your marketing messages and start to text them and stay top of mind over some of their competitors so that they know that, if they do need another product, they're more likely to come back to you versus a competitor. So again, I think the text channel is a great channel to be able to have that communication with your customers and try to increase that brand loyalty. Because there's also like a 2-way component to text as well. Consumers actually text back to the brands. So it's a great way for you to have a conversation, integrate your customer support platform like a Gorgeous to be able to help people on their mobile device instead of having them go to the site to ask questions or like get on their email, try to have that conversation with them where they are, which is on their phone. And so that's where text can be such a great way to start to increase that advocacy that brands might be looking for.
Yeah. Well, this is great content, Greg. And again, you guys are early to it, which is, I think, a big part of the reason there's a lot of wind at your back. Attentive is doing some great work. Is there any takeaways you'd like to leave our listeners with?
Yeah, I mean, I think really just at the end of the day, if this is a channel that, you're new to or you haven't really explored, I would highly recommend that you start looking at that. Our clients at Attentive, we can turn text message marketing into a top 3 revenue channel in 3 to 6 months. So we can start to drive that incremental revenue for you really fast. And especially as you mentioned, Darren, with, people now moving more towards an e-commerce presence in 2020 and, agencies like Irish Titan building these incredible sites, you want to make sure you're optimizing that traffic. And text is just such an incredible channel to do that. It's really the future of how we are going to be communicating. And so, I would just highly encourage that you either check out Attentive or look into text and use that as a new marketing channel for your business.
Yeah, I think that speaking on behalf of all of our Titans here, we're really enjoying working with you guys and see a lot of opportunity
Likewise.
for us to work together to help our merchants grow their businesses.
Absolutely. 2021 is going to be a good year.
Yeah, it will. It better be, right?
Yeah, right.
All right, Greg, thanks again for all the support over the last couple of years. Thanks for this quick conversation. We appreciate it.
Awesome. Thanks, Darren. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everybody. We'll be producing more content soon. Sláinte. Hi, everybody. Darren Lynch, founder and CEO of Irish Titan here again. Thanks for joining our whiskey shot sized of Ecomm forum follow-up. If you want more information, fun, or shenanigans, please go visit irishtitan.com/ecomm forum. Thanks. Have a good day. Sláinte.